Chunky, come here.
Where's Chunky? This one?
Yeah, you're the chunky.
Blaze, fix your scarf. You can't see it.
Would somebody like to say in the chat room what's going on? Would somebody like to enlighten, not us, in the chat room? Eskimos. What the heck are you guys doing? Hey, show your other thing.
Oh, there she is.
Woo! We just got a letter. We just got a letter. Okay, now it's really hot in here.
Now it's hot.
All right, y'all.
We got 2 letters, 2 boxes today.
The AC broken.
And that's what we got in the boxes. Me and Blaze got scarves, man scarves.
Very cool.
All the girls got hoodies, hoodie scarves. Those all came from USA Kiwi.
Little house in the ghetto.
We love you. Apollo got a chew toy.
A couple of chew toys.
Couple of
He's
chew
got several
toys.
of them.
And I got some knitted comfy socks. And these are the absolute bomb. These socks came from my sugar mama, Miss Susan. So we didn't do the box opening because we just
Because I was impatient.
yeah. Let's just be honest. She opened up the box before we could get the camera set up.
I was getting ready to go to. I was done with lunch, and so I wanted to.
So if y'all need stuff like that made, hit up
Check out
USA Kiwi and Miss Campbell. I'm pretty sure.
Carmichael
What did I say?
Campbell.
Oh, Carmichael. Miss Susan.
Miss Susan.
And they did an absolute wonderful job.
This is gonna be a short show.
Miss Susan, I absolutely love these socks. They're like uber comfortable. It's not even funny. And I'm gonna tell you about that trap, and I'll send it back if you want. Do you want me to adjust the pan tension on it? Because that pan tension was so tight that mink could have jumped up and down on it and done the margarina on it for like 6 days before it even went down.
Wayne, what's up? Yes, Jordan. You need to teach me how to make some socks.
And so I'll set it for you if you want, and I'll go ahead and dye it and wax it also and send it back so you guys can get that mink. So that way that mink doesn't get y'all's chickens no more. So just let me know. So.
Me too, Karen. I wish I could also.
Yes. I absolutely died laughing. I'm gonna have to catch him and explain to him exactly what the taco was, because I haven't had a chance yet.
I think he figured it out. Did you see the vlog all the way through?
Yeah.
He seemed to, he seemed to get it. For ADD, Jason, you're making it hard for people like me to win these oils.
Why? What do you mean?
Squirrel, because we make the videos like 20 minutes long and they have to watch through the video to make sure that they see it.
There's a reason behind that. So, absolutely loved it.
And want some real deer? No, no, no. Don't put him in timeout.
Okay. All right. Well, if you ever need it back, you guys get chickens, you just let me know. And we'll send it back.
I dropped my food. Be right back.
Okay, then we're going to wait on you, Shrimp.
We're going to wait anyway. We're going to wait for a few minutes. We don't have anybody after us, do we? Hey, Suburban Hillbilly. Hey.
What?
Do we have-
I'm waiting on Shrimp Scampi.
We don't have anybody after us, do we?
Nope.
Okay. So we can wait a little while.
Okay, we're waiting on Shrimp Scampi. Everybody, no more chatting. Leave the chat box alone.
Yeah, right.
Nobody
No,
chat.
you don't.
Boom. We're just going to just sit right here and we're going to wait on Shrimp Scampi to get back because she dropped her food.
Let's count how many times Jason can blink.
Still waiting, old Scampi.
Hello, State of Grace. Okay, I don't know what I was thinking. Put that window back down.
Why?
It's hot in here. We don't have a fan in here.
Well, you just, not 5 minutes ago, you were like, open that window.
Well, that's because the wind is blowing
if you're going to
outside.
run the AC, at least better make it to where it's going to make it cooler in here.
It will. That'll make it cooler. I'm sorry, I'm not a polar bear.
Do essential oils have a shelf life?
I have heard that if they do, it's quite long. Yay, so everybody was getting their oils today. That's good.
Guess who's back? Shrimp is back.
Yay, Shrimp's back. Woo!
Okay, so we can start now because we purposely waited for you, Shrimpy.
The dogs are too fat already. 1,000 years. Yeah, Dutch, I think it's a really long time. Like they put they store all of these, the doTERRA ones anyway, they're put in glass bottles and it's amber glass so the sun can't get in through them.
Amber waves of green.
So they last a pretty long time. It's not carrier oil, Brenda. These are all pure oils. Except for ones that, if you have a blend that has a carrier oil in it, then yes, but all the ones that we're talking about are pure therapeutic grade oils. For Purple Mountain's Majesty. Y'all are funny. Hey, Patrick, I'll be sending your sample here in the next day or two. I had to figure out these little bitty bottles. I had to figure out how I'm going to send those and it be somewhat cost effective and it not get busted. Because everybody that got their oils, I think that a lot of them got them in the big boxes. So, okay, so Shrimp said 5 more days until brother goes into basic training. What is that for?
That's a taco peel.
Why did you bring out the taco peel?
Because you pushed me over on it.
Oh. Little oil goes a long way. I learned the hard way when I put it on my beard.
Don't even start talking to me about learning about something about the hard way there, Dutch, when it comes to these oils. I got a story.
Oh, how funny. Above the fruity pebbles is how my daughter sings it. That's funny. Okay. So it's about 10 after, so I guess we can kind of get started. We got enough people in here now, I think. Yes. Uh-huh. Maybe.
Oh.
Okay. So, where did you get the taco pillow? Online somewhere. Yes, we saw Arm's family vlog. He really liked that. And I got an email. And did you read the email this morning, didn't you? Because I told you to read it. Did you not?
From who?
From Arm's family.
No, I didn't see it.
We got a message from him.
I saw the one from Beth, and I haven't had a chance to answer it yet.
Yeah. Don't eat the oils.
No, not another story, Rain. Rain, I started watching your one video today about the plant that's a stress relief. What is the name of that plant? All right, now we gotta wait on Steve.
No, he could go back and read. No, Donna's in here. She can watch it and tell him. Borage.
Borage.
No, yeah.
No.
Well, borage is what Revelation is saying.
It's got a very small, beautiful purple flower.
Oregano armpit story was pretty good.
Okay, well, guess who just lost their channel shout out for the week? Borage.
Borage.
Where do you get that? Where did you get that?
You
Freaky,
can buy
fresh.
seeds. Borage seeds. You don't remember Steve and Tasha saying they were buying weed seed?
No. No.
Blue purple flowers,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
That's what he was talking about.
And she was talking about you eat the leaves, and she chewed on the stem.
Nice.
Yeah. So, I figured with 3 kids and a wife, I'm going to need as much stress relief as I can get.
Easy to grow, too. Cool.
Okay. Well, tonight, it's all about... Winter. Eucalyptus.
St. John's wort, yeah.
Why does St. John have a wart? What did he do?
Ginger Rose says borage really attracts bees too. That's nice to know.
Nice.
Trudy, did you get your stuff in the mail? Uh-oh, can't see it. Whoa. Woo.
Can you see it now?
Can you see it now? That stuff help you sleep? Yes, if you watch that borage video, you will see the bees all over it. Like the frog and using oregano on remember.
Makes
Just a
you...
frog. Oh man, Mel, I would hate to see you manic. When you held it still. Nicole, yeah, she gets really bummed that we're doing this on Monday nights because she works Monday nights.
That wasn't a shark. That was the Mission Impossible thing.
Okay, so are we just gonna
I'm waiting on you.
talk? Or?
No, I'm waiting on you. Let's go.
Yeah, I bet it was a sight, Mel. I can only imagine you bouncing off the walls. Okay, so we're gonna talk about eucalyptus tonight.
And I'm not tasting this one.
Does anybody know where eucalyptus is harvested? Let's see.
You did not just ask where it was harvested.
Yes. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Come on. The answer should be rolling in by now. There we go. Yes, Australia. From the leaves of a tree. Great. Yes. Okay. So we have the obvious people. Pandas eat it. My old neighbor's house.
Pandas don't eat it. Pandas eat bamboo.
Koalas eat it. Yes. Okay. So, given that knowledge,
It's not from China.
it's not surprising that the history of eucalyptus goes way back. Just like just like when we were studying, when was that? We were studying, was it a couple weeks ago? We were talking about the Aborigines. Eucalyptus also has its history back. Has its history goes way back, all the way back to the Aborigines. They used to use eucalyptus as a remedy for everything, especially anything having to do with wound care. And there's stories of it. There's all kinds of folklore about somebody coming and getting hurt really bad, and the Aborigines used the eucalyptus leaves to be able to treat it, and that's how it kind of got its birth of being used commercially. The stories of its healing properties caused it to be something that was produced, and they were producing it back in the 1800s. 1852 is about where I started finding a lot of uses of it. It was widely used to control infection and influenza back during World War I. Surgeons used to use it as an antiseptic, and they even used to use it to clean urinary catheters. Wow, you had a mouthful of tea.
That was hot.
I'm gonna go ahead and put this out there now early. If you're pregnant or breastfeeding, not the oil for you. Kind of leave this one alone. There's definitely some debate about whether to ingest it or not. It can be toxic in high concentrations. However, a lot of the research that I read said that in very small quantities it can be ingested and very useful for certain things. And when I was doing the research, my son and I were talking about this, and we're like, oh, eucalyptus is toxic. You can't eat eucalyptus, you know. So we were like, no, you can't eat it. And I know I've told y'all, whenever it says it doesn't have nutritional facts on it, you don't want to ingest it. So here's my thing. I wouldn't necessarily ingest it. However, there is a blend of respiratory drops that doTERRA produces that actually has eucalyptus in the ingredients. So, and I have used these and they work really well. So, and I've never gotten sick off of them. So I guess in really small doses, I'm guessing it's okay. But I still wouldn't recommend, you know, using that without consulting somebody first or doing a lot of research first. Just because I know, you know, just in general, I've always heard that eucalyptus can be very toxic. So there's my caveat.
Hey, freedom makers.
Okay. Now, another thing that I found out is that some small towns in Australia actually figured out that they could convert the oil into a gas that they could use to light up their homes. So that was another thing, and they didn't even realize that they were using this to light up their homes, and it was actually had great medicinal properties. So what kind of medicinal properties do eucalyptus oil, or does eucalyptus oil have?
Hi, Brad.
The obvious one that everybody knows about, it's best known for using it for cold and flu treatment. Everybody grabs eucalyptus or something that contains eucalyptus in it for colds and flus.
So we use it for clue.
Yes, we use it for clue.
So it'll tell you that Professor Plum
did it
with the candlestick,
with the candlestick
in the library.
In the library, yep.
He killed Colonel Mustard in the library with the candlestick.
There you go. So, winter, this is an expectorant, so it'll help you with that lung butter. You
Can we
also
have one show where we don't talk about lung butter? Just one.
No, never.
Not every oil can help with lung butter.
I don't know.
I think I'm gonna have to call BS.
No, really?
Well, not with eucalyptus.
Not with eucalyptus.
But
okay, so with eucalyptus, one of the things, and I say this almost every single show, eucalyptus is great for steam, for a steam shower. Take a little bit, put it in a wet washcloth, put it down at the bottom of your shower, and just let the steam naturally diffuse it into the air.
Hi, Krista.
You can also just diffuse it, generally speaking, in a diffuser, whether it's an electric diffuser or if it's like a potpourri diffuser, anything like that works really well. I think I've shown this before, but for some of you who've not seen this, you can get one of these cheapy ones that you get at Walmart that you put the tea light in the back, and then in this little bowl right here, I wouldn't put the oil directly on, because if you do that, it'll just kind of burn and start to stain your bowl. But if you put some water in there and then put the drops in the water, then it'll diffuse better and you won't have as big of a mess to have to clean up. Okay, so some things that you might not know about eucalyptus. Eucalyptus has a lot of properties. And I was pretty surprised, because the obvious one you always think of is just anything respiratory, because of the smell that it has, but there's so many other things that it's good for.
Teresa Dean says, or vegetable oil too.
For what?
To put in a little bowl thing.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, even with think about your cast iron, when you put oil on that and you do that, it cakes up. And I don't know about anybody else, but I don't like something that's just all caked up. And I would think that vegetable oil would do that still, too.
I guess the coconut oil would do that too, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
I
Because that's what Bash just asked. Can you diffuse the oil with coconut oil? So you just kind of answered that. So
you could, but I don't understand why you would use coconut oil when you can use water.
Yeah.
Just put some water down in it, put a tea light underneath it, put your oils in there. Oil and water do not mix. So the water heats up the oil, and the oil diffuses.
Krista from Big Family Homestead, she says that they put it right on Grace's chest and back when she had pneumonia real bad.
Yes. It is definitely an expectorant. You can put it straight down the spine, put it on the chest, on the throat. It's called a vasodilator. And what it does is it opens up the blood vessels, and so that allows the lungs to just open up more to get rid of all of that yuck.
And your BFF has your back. She says, I would use water too.
Yeah, it makes more sense to me. I mean, water's somewhat free, where coconut oil and that costs a little bit more money. So, the water is more of a renewable resource than the coconut oil or whatever. So back to the vasodilator, it opens up all your blood vessels. So, and that property is a reason why this oil is so useful in so many different ways, and we'll get into that and talk about that in a minute. One thing that you can use eucalyptus for is for hair care. Eucalyptus with olive oil, like what you guys were talking about earlier, if you use that, it actually can be quite moisturizing for your hair and uplifting, because of that same thing with the vasodilator. When you start putting that into your scalp, you're opening up those blood vessels. So you're allowing that scalp to breathe. You're going to prevent itchy scalp or dandruff, and it'll also help to kill lice. This is another one of those where you can use to kill lice.
Cockeyed Homestead. Would it be good for heart problems? I think that's heart. HEA or to get heart.
Yes, but I could think of other ones that would be better. And it depends on what heart problems you're talking about. Another thing that I was surprised to see, we talked about Melaleuca last week.
But would it be good for a heart problem, like let's just say maybe Brad, because it's all caked up from cowtails?
Cowtails or lemon bars? Didn't he do one on them being GMO food or something?
Yeah, he did that today.
Yeah.
Farmer Meemaw's in the house.
What did he say?
He just put broken heart.
It's good for a broken heart. Okay, so one thing I was surprised.
Good for diabetes?
Yes, we'll get to that.
Okay.
Y'all are killing me with all these questions.
Hold on to your diabetes question there, Palmetto.
Okay. But yes, it is good for diabetes, and I'll tell you why in a little bit.
Ain't good to fix that beard you got, though.
We talked about Melaleuca last week being good for your laundry, for grease, for a stain remover. Eucalyptus is also another good one for that. The only thing, though, is just like I said with everything else, try it on a small area where you can hide it if it's not, if it doesn't work very well, because you don't ever know with all these synthetic fabrics that are used nowadays, but pure cotton or whatever, that's good to go. But you never know with all the new stuff that they put in carpets and stuff. But it's really good for removing grease and dirt. So you know how everybody uses like the Fast Orange or the Goop remover, you know, the stuff that you put on your hands and wash when you're cleaning your car. If you make a scrub out of just Epsom salt, sea salt, something like that, and then put the eucalyptus in there, 1, it's going to clean all of that yuck off of there. 2, it's antibacterial, so if there's anything nasty on your hands, it's going to kill that. 3, it's very invigorating. Remember that vasodilator stuff? We're talking about being able to open up those pores and kind of get everything, so it's going to be a little bit more rejuvenating. So if you have sore hands or sore feet from work, this is a great thing to use, like in an Epsom salt bath, where you can kind of open up the pores and just kind of get rejuvenated. So it works really good for that. And I used to use this a lot. When I worked at Arby's, I was on my feet 10 plus hours a day, and I would come home, and my youngest daughter found a recipe that included eucalyptus as one of the oils to put in a foot bath, and she used to do that for me all the time. She would see that I had had a hard day, and she'd put the Epsom salts and warm water, and it's eucalyptus and a couple other things. So it was really nice to be able to just kind of relax, and it pulls away the tension, and it's kind of a cooling effect, and it's just really relaxing. What's funny?
Somebody's not really posting a lot of questions right now.
Are you serious? But he's here?
Uh-huh.
Good. Okay. So. Well, is Mel?
Mel's here too.
That's because she's got like 4 computers going right now. You're going to hear her in a second say shh. Okay. So, along with the cold and flu remedy, it's also, this is another duh, it's really good for sinus and allergies. You know he's gonna cheat, Park. Okay, so a lot of studies have shown that it's effective to use with allergies and sinus issues. Again, because of that vasodilator, it helps to open things up, to get things moving. So allergies don't really have a chance to kind of stick around. You kind of, that expectorant and it just kind of moves everything around, so you don't have to worry about sinus issues and allergies. You use this. Now, back to the whole thing about ingesting this. Several different places I looked suggested that taking eucalyptus internally or gargling can clear your throat. Of course, my 17-year-old son said, well, of course it would when you're throwing up. But I think if you do your research in very small increments, I think this could be helpful. But again, you would have to do your own research on this. Like I said before, the respiratory drops that I've had work really great. But I'm sure there are a lot more other components that are actually working more than just the eucalyptus. And in really high quantities. Now again, I was looking at this and it was saying like 3 to 5 milliliters. Like, that's a huge amount of oil. And when we think about how pure this oil is, I don't think I'd want to ingest 3 to 5 milliliters of any of these oils, whether they're safe for you or not. So that was my other thing was, they're like, oh, well, it can cause seizures and da-da-da-da and all this other stuff. But then when you look at the quantity of what they're saying it would take, so I kind of am back and forth on that. I'm still doing my research on whether or not I would feel comfortable ingesting it. Okay, so another property of eucalyptus is it's antimicrobial. A lot of people, including us, use eucalyptus in our laundry soap. You can do it in your detergents, regular soap, mop water. It's good for mop water, cleaning your toilet, surface cleaners, anything like that, because it does have antimicrobial properties.
You can clean mop water with it?
No, like when you're really.
Well, that's what it sounded like you just said.
No, you can put it in your mop water. when
Okay.
you go to mop the floor. It's a good surface cleaner to be able to put. Like, really?
Okay.
Why are
Nope.
you giggling?
Well, because everybody's trying to call out Palmetto.
Really?
Yeah. So, and what, I don't understand. Why would you use it to,
Okay, why do you put bleach in your mop water?
that's bleach. That's not eucalyptus.
Okay, but what are the properties of bleach?
I don't know. It just kills everything.
Antiviral, antimicrobial, antibacterial, the same things that are in eucalyptus. But
So that's why it's good on the lung butter.
probably. It chops all that stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, if you like the smell of eucalyptus, which most people do, I haven't met very many people who have an aversion to the smell of eucalyptus. It can be a great air freshener. This is another one that I would recommend if you've got, stinky shoes.
I don't have stinky shoes.
Whatever. You could take a sock, put a couple of drops in it, put it down in that shoe. If you've got like a pet bed or something like that, you can take a washcloth that has the eucalyptus on it, like a eucalyptus infused is what I would say, like water with eucalyptus. You put that on the washcloth. You can wipe down, like, say, a pet bed and then let it dry in the sun, and it'll keep its form, but it'll be clean and it'll smell better. And another one you can do, and this is the one I like to use it for, is teenage boy funk. You can definitely use eucalyptus, put it out on the bed, put it on the sheets, makes everything smell a lot better.
How much in a pail of mop water, and can you use it in a spray bottle to clean kitchen counter?
Yes, it is definitely a surface cleaner. You can wash windows with it. You can wipe your counters down with it. You put like 10 to 15 drops in a spray bottle. About the same for a mop bucket. What?
Krista says nothing gets rid of teenage boy funk.
It's just like you, Palmetto. Okay, so back with the air freshener, you can also mix this with either lemon or melaleuca. Both of those also have the antiseptic properties, the antimicrobial properties. So if you want a double dose, you can add a little bit of both. Put them in there. Both, they smell good, smells nice and clean, and works really well. Now, along with it being an air freshener, it actually will help purify your air as well. You could put it in your vacuum filter. You could put it in your, and we're going to try and do this. I'd never thought to do this, but you could put it in your filter of your dryer to kind of help clean things out a little bit and give everything a nice fresh smell as well. Because over time your dish or your washer and your dryer will kind of get that, sometimes it'll get that moldy, mildewy smell. And this is one of those oils that you could put in there for two reasons. One, because it smells really good and it's got all those cleaning properties, but it's also really good against mold, just like we were talking about melaleuca last week. What?
Nothing?
Control C, Control V. He's killing me. Okay. So we had talked about it being a spot cleaner. Also, eucalyptus is a good insecticide. You can use it. I've read, and we have not used this, but I'm going to do a little bit more research on it. But I've seen that it's used a lot of times as a replacement for some insecticides in your garden. You can spray just a little bit of eucalyptus infused water on your plants. It'll keep some of the bugs away. And it's used in the repellent blend, the insect repellent blend, so it obviously has some properties that are important enough that it would be included in that. What are you giggling about?
I don't think anybody's listening to you. They're just waiting on me.
They'll go back and watch it later, I guess. Okay. Back to the respiratory issues. What?
Freedom Acre says she switches it out with peppermint on her dryer balls. Smells lovely.
Lovely. Absolutely. Absolutely. with respiratory issues, this can help with asthma, bronchitis, even COPD, pneumonia, tuberculosis, and it has anti-inflammatory properties. So that's part of the reason, besides it being a vasodilator, it also is anti-inflammatory, so it helps with asthma. It dilates the blood vessels and allows more oxygen to go into the blood.
Minuteman said,
I forgot the word. Now, back to what Krista was saying. When you're trying to treat for like bronchitis or pneumonia or anything like that, you can take eucalyptus and peppermint, like Amanda was talking about, add it with a little bit of coconut oil, and you have your own homemade Vicks rub. You put that on the chest, put it on the back of the spine, even sometimes on the bottoms of your feet, and that helps a lot to help with any kind of respiratory illness that you have going on. Anything? Nothing yet, huh?
Not yet. Nothing yet.
A COPD, I need a gallon. You know, one thing about eucalyptus oil, I will say, you don't even need to put a drop in your hand. Like, all you have to do is open up the bottle and you can already smell this. Like, this is one of those really, like, I think in one article I was reading, it called it a volatile oil. And I really agree with that, because it is extremely potent. And that's why I'm real hesitant about ingesting it, because one, I can't imagine what it's going to taste like. And number two, with it being a volatile oil, I don't know what.
Kitty showed her hand.
What'd she do? Oh, did she accidentally type?
She accidentally hit the enter button. And now Palmetto's calling her out. Somebody's trigger happy.
Okay, so back to the very beginning of our talk. I said that the Aborigines used to use this for wound care. And again, that's because it's antibacterial and antimicrobial. It's also an analgesic, meaning that it's good for pain relief. So cuts, scrapes, bug bites, gaping wound. It has this cooling sensation, so it's very good for that. You can add peppermint in there, peppermint and eucalyptus. You can shock the skin a little bit to kind of help with pain relief. Let's see. What?
Robyn, we are half listening to you. No, we were all going to watch again for the actual info.
I know exactly what's going on here. Nobody's listening.
You know, my friend Joey was like that.
Really?
Here it comes.
Use the oil or just leaves or bark from the tree. There it is, Sheila McCrae.
Sheila McCrae.
Okay, so now is everybody going to listen to me?
I was waiting till we had 100 people in the room.
Sheila, I need you to email me your information to bigbearfarmsoils@hotmail.com. Yeah. If you'll do that, I will send you your, and I didn't have it pre-typed, I will send it to you. It fits for eucalyptus. Yeah, he has those occasionally. Okay, so back to implications for eucalyptus. This is another one of those that they're starting to study because of its application against drug-resistant bacteria like tuberculosis, especially in areas like Africa where HIV is running crazy. They've actually tested it, and it inhibits airborne tuberculosis over 90%. So it's very potent, even in the air, being able to kill off bacteria in the air. What?
Okay, we got a question.
Okay, what's the question?
But Palmetto said I still meddled 3 weeks in a row. Minuteman Homestead wants to know, what zones does it grow in? I know we can grow eucalyptus trees here. So I know it'll grow here.
Neem. I haven't talked about neem, but we did talk about melaleuca in a previous. It was last week. So if you go back into our video playlist, you'll see it. It's in there. We talked about it. Let's see. I did talk about COPD. They've actually done a lot of research in Germany for long-term treatment. And one thing I'm finding a lot of is that other countries all over the world have absolutely no problem using essential oils in their primary care, like everyday primary care. But over here, we don't want to have anything to do with that, and that's because it's not as profitable as big pharma.
Thanks, John Otter.
It's just not the same. Another thing that they've been studying, and I know a lot of people have asked about this, is that it's good for high blood pressure. It actually will lower your blood pressure. What? That's why I brought it out here, so you could see if you could use it. They've tested that a lot in France. There's a lot of studies going on in France about eucalyptus and being able to actually lower blood pressure supplementing with eucalyptus. Eucalyptus has been used in a lot of the different blends. It's used in the protective blend, which makes sense because of its properties of being antibacterial and stuff. So like with doTERRA, the protective blend would be called On Guard, and it has eucalyptus in it, and it works very well in my opinion. It's also in the skin cleaning products that doTERRA puts out. They use eucalyptus in that as well because it's very good for cleaning out bacteria and stuff, so it works really well for like acne and things like that. It's in the respiratory blend, and it's in the insect repellent blend as well. Commercial applications that you may see it used in, one is in makeup. I've seen it used in makeup before. Obviously in inhalers, rubs like Vicks Rub, rash cream, and even in mouthwash. I did read in a couple of different things that it's actually good for cavities, a lot of dental care things like plaque, gingivitis, because it's a germicidal, so it works, it's very effective with things like gingivitis and plaque. But again, that goes back to wanting to put it in your mouth and ingesting it.
2 questions.
Mm-hmm.
Robyn, is On Guard she put the save as thieves oil
yes.
blend, and then she tried to correct herself and I guess she was trying to put same, but she put
Sam.
And then Suburban Hillbilly just put cough drops.
Yes, they do put them in cough drops. That's right. And that's why I was saying before is that
Sheila is from
Ackworth, which is right outside of Atlanta.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
She's right there by the Big Chicken. Okay,
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
So yeah, they definitely do use them in cough drops. You just, again, you have to be careful with how much of it you ingest, I guess would be the best way to say that. Now, some home applications. One thing that eucalyptus I've seen be pretty effective with is earaches. You could put it on the bone right outside, back behind your ear. You could put it all along the earlobe, right here. What did we say this is? The tragus? Haha, I remembered the word. Right here on the tragus. It works really well for earaches.
Farmer Meemaw says she got so angry when Young Living copyrighted the name. Grrr. Thieves Oil has been around for much longer than Young Living.
Yes, that is very true. And all that to say, that's why I go with the whole generic thing of a protective blend, because everybody's got their own name for it, and it's all going to have proprietary... It's Tammy. Her name is Tammy.
Place 600 types of eucalyptus trees, so there's one for every climate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe that. believe that.
Okay, Tammy, your homework is to get me a cutting from everyone.
With oil in the leaves, okay? And again, like, I know people have asked this before, and so we'll answer this again. With eucalyptus, you could make your own oil. You could steep the eucalyptus leaves in a carrier oil, like a olive oil or a vegetable, whatever, coconut oil. But again, if you're getting it from a company that does certified pure, therapeutic grade, you're going to get just the oil of the eucalyptus leaf. You're not going to get the carrier oil, which would obviously dilute it.
The Cajun Homestead said it can be used against fleas.
Yes, I was getting, because I said earlier about lice. You can also use it like for dust mites, all different types of bugs, because it's a repellent. It's an insecticide. What were you saying?
Nothing.
And ginger, I believe so, because the active ingredients that are in the eucalyptus are, from what I understand, they're in all of the different types of eucalyptus. But we could look more into that, but I think they all have the same. There's a chemical property that, and I can't remember the name of it, but I think it's present in all the different types.
JS Farms 2004 is in the house. I watched them today.
Oh yeah?
Yep.
Oh yeah, you did. I was watching a little bit of it at lunchtime.
Her hubby's a jarhead too.
Yes, I know. But you were all excited when you saw that.
He worked on LAVs just like my daddy did.
Nice. Very cool. Okay, so some home applications. We talked about earaches, congestion, cough, obviously. Another thing this is good for, just like when we talked about peppermint bringing down a fever, eucalyptus also works really well. So if you pair those together, you can bring down a fever pretty quickly and efficiently.
Cockeyed wants to know, can you use it on animals?
Yes. Yes, and I have not seen anything, like I know last week I was talking about how Melaleuca, they don't recommend you use it with cats. I've not seen anything anywhere about eucalyptus not being used for any animal. But again, keep in mind, if I'm using 2 drops on me and I'm 150, 160 pounds, if I've got a goat that only weighs 60 or 80 pounds, I want to make sure that I don't use as much on that animal as I would on myself.
Cajun Homestead said fleas just hate it. Mix about 1/4 tisp in a spray bottle and spray around the pet's bed.
Okay, on a bed, I could see that. But on an animal, we did not have any. I'm telling you, the fleas were really bad this year. And we found that out from the vet. Like, we really didn't want to have to go nuclear with our animal. But we could see just how...
Anytime, JS, I'll be there next time. And I'm going to bring friends with me. Right? Friends.
You're funny. Okay, so...
Do you use it neat or in a carrier oil when applying to the skin?
I would say, Farmer Meemaw, what is my typical answer, guys? Typically, you want to start using it with a carrier oil, just to check. And then once you find out just how much sensitivity you have, then go from there. Typically, this one can cause a little bit of skin sensitivity, so it helps to have a little bit of a carrier oil.
Tammy Place just got a whole bunch of hate email from every woman in this room.
Why?
Weird fact. Eucalyptus oil can help with chocolate cravings. Just smell it and cravings go away. Now, every husband that's reading the chat box just made that mental note. You're probably going to sell like 1,000 eucalyptus bottles, and the moment the wife goes, I want some chocolate. Bah!
Yeah, probably.
No, Park, Insomnia Club's not on tonight. That's tomorrow night.
Is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Tuesday.
Tuesday. Oh, yeah, it is tomorrow night, isn't it? Okay.
I missed how to put it on dogs. Can you say again?
Oh, I didn't say.
Cajun Homestead said you put 1/4 of a tisp in a spray bottle
and put it on their bed.
And put it around their bed. He didn't
Right.
say spray it on the dog.
I mean, you can spray it on the dog, but I have not seen it be effective. I've used the repellent blend. I've used eucalyptus. I've used cedarwood, and nothing would work on this dog this year.
Kiwi, the way you dime me out on that one person we tacoed, I'm sending your husband a certified letter.
Okay, I got like 9 minutes to cover a page and a half.
You got all the time in the world.
I know.
Nobody going behind us.
Okay, so another thing I read said that they've even successfully used eucalyptus on shingles and malaria. Again, you put it on the feet and spine. Now, how effective? Not really sure, but that's what I read. And you can't believe everything you read, but I saw it in more than one place. Saw it in several different places.
You know, Freedom Acres must not like me.
Why?
Because she always praises you, and she's just like leaves. She's like, gotta go. You're doing a great job, Robyn. Sunshine needs a lullaby. Good night, all.
She likes you.
She's like, just forget that fat guy in the corner wearing the hat.
Okay, so eucalyptus is definitely not one if you're what?
Cajun Homestead said all the dog is gonna do is roll in his own poop if you spray him with it.
Yeah, they don't do very well with insomnia. I mean, with eucalyptus stuff. What I was gonna say is, yeah, you know what, Cockeyed? We had the same thing. DE did not do anything for us with the fleas. And again, I don't know if it was older DE. I mean, still, that doesn't make sense because it's fossils.
Oh,
but
no. You have to call me out by name. You can't go, I love you both. No, it don't work that way.
You're funny, Jason. Okay, so eucalyptus, as you can imagine with the smell, this is not something that you want to put on your pillow at night to go to sleep because it is actually a stimulant. So it will help if you're mentally exhausted. You could put eucalyptus and rosemary together. It helps improve blood flow to the brain, so it helps with focus and concentration as well. What I was saying before, just like with the fleas, it's good for dust mites. So you could take it, put it in a spray bottle, spray it over your couch, spray it on your bed. This is all really good stuff where you can, and it's safe. It's not going to, it's not a chemical. You're not going to get sick from sleeping on it. Okay, so with that in mind, my suggestion to
love Farmer Mimo.
To my husband is now going to be when we're out here doing homeschool to kind of swap it up a bit and not always diffuse lemon. I think diffusing eucalyptus might be a good one as well because again, promoting blood flow to the brain helps with stimulating their brains to get them going and kind of not be so sluggish at times because that can be really hard. You're sitting doing your schoolwork, you kind of what?
Nothing.
What?
Rain Country, sorry Big Bear Homestead. I keep having to run out. Lots going on. We'll have to catch up with the show tomorrow because Robyn always does such a great job on these. Now, you probably should have called Tammy Z in Australia because she just said it gets crayon off the walls.
Well, yeah, remember I was talking about it being a stain, it cuts grease. What is a crayon? I mean, what?
A little salt.
Eucalyptus, oil flea control, skin therapy, skin burns. Yeah, so
Go.
no, what I was going to say is a vet can tell you what they've read in a book.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm telling you from my experience, at least from this year, because I have heard that the fleas were really bad this year. This year, eucalyptus did nothing for us. Cedarwood did nothing for us. We had to apply it constantly, and all it did was make the fleas smell good. So, that's kind of where I go with that one.
That was for Washington Outdoors, by the way. Okay, so let me interrupt and let Mama take a drink here for a second. I did nuisance wildlife work for a long time. This is how I always told my customers to get rid of the fleas that have carpet. Move everything out of that room. Any linens, seat covers, anything like that. You wash them in hot water and send them through the cycle. You vacuum that room. As soon as you're done vacuuming, you snatch the vacuum bag out, or if you got like Cockeyes got that cylinder,
Canister.
you take it right outside and you dump it, wash it out really good,
Bring it back in.
then you bring it back in. The reason being is that a flea will stay an egg until it gets some vibration. And the moment it gets that vibration, it becomes the adult, and then it jumps on its host and starts biting. So that's why you vacuum it. Okay? Then you can come back with, if you want to put DE down, sometimes people, we got to go nuclear. This year fleas were bad. So you might need to get a flea spray.
Or a defogger or something.
Or, you know, a fogger or a fumigator or something. Bam, hit it. We went and took our dog to the vet. We took Apollo to the vet
because he was miserable.
Well,
he was getting to become anemic because he was getting bit so much.
well, not only that, he started getting hot spots.
Yeah.
And we were bathing him two,
So
3
much.
times a week. Then he was starting to have skin issues.
Yeah.
And he ended up getting on this one pill that does flea control and his heartworm. And it's only costing us like $19 for 6 months.
$19 a month.
Oh, $19 a month.
For the pill. It
For the
costs
pill.
like $19.
Yeah. So,
but for what it's done, I mean, they bite him and they die. Like they
in the
immediately
first
die.
30 minutes, we had to go behind him wherever he laid
And vacuum.
vacuumed up dead fleas.
Yeah.
Within 4 hours,
They
there
were
was no
gone.
more fleas. Within 8 hours, there was no more fleas in the house.
Because as soon as they would jump on him, because that was the natural thing, was them for jump on him, as soon as they would bite him, they were dead.
Yep.
So,
And that's, I mean,
and it's not normally something we would do, but
Yeah.
we had to.
because
We
normally
didn't
he
have a
was
choice.
just on the brown packet, the heart guard
Heartworm,
for his heartworm, but this kills 2 birds with 1 stone, and it was cheaper than the heart guard stuff. So sometimes we got to do that. You know, like somebody was talking about fire ants, and sometimes you just it was J&J. You know, sometimes you just got to go nuclear with them. We had them here so bad.
Yeah. You couldn't walk anywhere
Yeah,
without
that
getting
we
tore
had
up.
there was I'm like J&J. I like that stuff in the black thing. I can't
Andro
or whatever it is.
yeah.
But there was a new one out that was a little bit higher, and I went around until that container was empty, and it blew them out of the water. Now I just go to start melting aluminum cans, pour the metal in there, and then I make my teenage son dig them up.
No, we're not using Bravecto. It's
Trifecta or something like that.
Trifexis, I think is what
Yeah.
it's called.
So, but I mean, sometimes every person that I've talked to this year, every vet tech, every vet, they say
Everybody.
the same thing.
Nothing was effective.
Nothing is being as effective as this. There's a flea collar out there that's like $60,
Yeah.
and it's only good for like 8 months. They said that kind of is the only other thing that was kind of working.
But again, it's a topical.
Mhm.
And the thing is with the topical, if your dog's any bit like mine, they run out in the pasture, they get wet in the dew of the rain of the grass, they get into dirt, they get into cow poop, and this is not as effective as something internal. As much as I don't like to give my dog something internally. And
Now see, J&S Farms 2004. That sounded like that.
we've done that before. We did that when we were in Grovetown, and it does work.
Yeah.
Borax does work for the fleas. The only problem with that I had is vacuuming up and having that cloud of borax. I wasn't really thrilled with the idea of having borax flying all
Just
over
get
the
mop
place.
gear.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So
Can you turn the water on, please?
we don't have any. You need to buzz him and tell him we need more. Let me go ahead and finish this because, you know, it's not one of my oils classes.
Razor one.
without the guys
This is
having to
Lone Wolf.
put their hands
Lone
over
Wolf.
their ears.
We need water for the teapot. Water for the teapot.
So
How in the world did you find a way with eucalyptus for us to have to put our hands on our ears?
you know I look for it. I do so much research just to find something in each video.
10-4 there, Lone Wolf.
Okay, so one thing this is really good for.
Where's Wanda from Deep South Homestead? Let her start talking about peppermint.
Boys are so squeamish because I look for it exactly right, because you can make anything work. Okay, so this is actually something though that
This is the whole reason why I bet in our analytics we're like, our channel
is mostly
is
women.
mostly women that have subscribed to our channel, and I think it's because of this right here.
Okay, one, because of its cooling effects, it works really good for women with hot flashes who get overheated, night sweats, that kind of thing. Gives a little bit of a temporary relief for that. But also, it is good as a detox for your breasts. Yay! So
Whoa.
apply with a...
Stop. How are the puppies all of a sudden toxic?
I'm talking about like breast cancer, preventative for breast cancer, things of that nature.
Oh.
And again, this is why I'm not really stressing about the put your hands over your ears, because, you know, men like the tatas too. So we want to prevent anything bad happening from them. So,
Okay, Park Family says, wait, say that again.
okay, you could take a little bit of carrier oil, put a couple of drops of the eucalyptus, and if you have any kind of discomfort or pain or an area that you think might be a problem, you can just kind of rub on that. And that's the other thing, is that I'm going to start doing this when I do my monthly exam. When I start to check and make sure everything's okay, I'm going to apply that oil, because it's also a detox. So it's going to pull out any of that yucky stuff. So,
Yeah, Ava says men can get breast cancer too.
yes, they can. And yes, if they're up for doing that, that's what I was saying. This is kind of a little bit of a stretch on the ears thing, but I still like to always, because I know we have a lot of women that watch, and so I like to try and make sure that I point out something that's specifically just for men on that.
Okay, so then we should make a pact. You should check me for breast cancer, and I get to check you for breast cancer.
No. You already checked me plenty of times. You don't have to have a designated time during the month to do it. Okay, so somebody asked me about diabetes.
Yep.
Okay.
That was Palmetto, but I think he left. Palmetto, are you still here? Because the
might have
contest is over. You don't need to hide anymore.
What's the word that we're not allowed to say but hurt? I don't see him. I wrote that on my Yeah, that's true. It will sting if you have any open wounds. Again, because it's also good for wounds and bacteria and stuff. So even if it burns a little bit, there, he's listening from across the room. Okay, so the diabetes thing. One, it does help to bring, it's for hyperglycemia, not hypo, so it can bring down, I believe that's right, brings down blood sugar. Just like with hypertension, it brings down the blood pressure. But also, one thing that I was reading a lot about is that they use eucalyptus oil on people who are in that are at risk for losing limbs because of diabetes. Like, you know, you see people with their legs all, you know, because circulation's really bad. They use the eucalyptus oil to help open up, again, because that vasodilator, it's opening up those blood vessels to be able to allow the blood to circulate and flow better. And that's one of the problems with people with diabetes, that their blood's not flowing real good in their lower extremities. So,
Okay, that's a Ginger Rose says, how do you use it for blood pressure? So why don't you go ahead and just show?
okay,
Because I
so
think
eucalyptus oil, Take just a little bit.
I'm the Vanna White for the evening.
Okay. Put your shirt up. Okay, so you put it over the heart. Well, the heart's kind of down here, but I just want to touch your boobies. And then a little bit on pulse points. So jugular on both sides. And then on the wrists. And then if you want to put it like on the ankles, you can do that too. But you mostly want to put it on pulse points.
Bass wants you to put it on my knees.
Cover his eyes. Okay, stripper music, please. I saw Jason's chest. Now, how many people do you think are going to watch that again? Yes, orphan lady. You can put it on the bottoms of the feet for neuropathy. You can also put it, if it's like, let's just say it's anywhere below the knee, you can put it anywhere. And again,
Uh-oh, you said knee.
if you put it in a carrier oil, it's not just going to be about it being a sensitivity issue for skin. It's also, it also can spread out more and be more effective if you put it in a carrier oil. So you can do it that way. Lyme disease relief. John Otter, send me an email to remind me about that, and I'll look that one up for you. Let's see. Where do I get my info? Okay, so I look everywhere. I don't just go to one place. I have a couple different books. I go to a couple different websites. Google is my friend, but I am a firm believer in verifying. So I definitely do Google a little bit, but
Just a little bit.
one of my biggest resources is this book. It's called The Essential Life. Can't really see it very well. There you go. Okay, so that's one of my
I'm drinking
bigger,
tea. Hot tea.
hot tea. Is that, which one are you using? The red one? The Zinger?
The Zinger.
Jason likes hibiscus tea. That's why I keep asking y'all if anybody knows about wild hibiscus being
Bass
usable
wants
for-
to know, how do you use it for the diabetes? You rub it on his knees.
No. Again, on pulse points. And winter, I'm not sure, but I think this is one of those where you can ingest it as well. Remind me, you have my email address because you emailed me today. Email me to remind me, and I'll look up that application for you to make sure that that's exactly correct. Oh, what did Bandana? I
don't
just
know.
sent a set of essential oils at a discount. Wait, what did it say? I just... Oh. Yeah, so I'm a firm believer in the oil thing of you get what you pay for. If you're buying something that otherwise would be expensive and it's really cheap, there's a reason.
Look, there's always going to be scams out there for folks to try to take
On anything.
advantage. And unfortunately, right now, there are people out there that are buying the doTERRA oil
Mm-hmm.
and they're cutting it with vegetable oil, coconut oil, and so now they're getting 3 bottles out of 1.
Right.
And so you will probably not have the same results that you would get if you bought it from us or anybody else that sells doTERRA. You have to be careful with that. Now, of course, with some of your hot oils, you do have to cut it, but they're cutting it a lot more. They're like taking 1 whole bottle of this and putting...
Making 3 bottles out of 1.
Yeah. So they're putting like 3 or 4 drops, 5 drops in here, and then the rest vegetable oil. So you just got to be careful with that.
Let's see. You know what, Jennifer? I'm not sure, but let me look real quick and I
What
can
did she
tell
ask?
you how much it is.
How much is what?
Eucalyptus. It's not extremely expensive.
Blaze's
I think
girlfriend?
it's in the no, that's the mama.
Oh, that's the mama. What's the girlfriend's name?
Okay, so Teresa, that doesn't always work. It does, but it doesn't. She's saying look up the name of the company and research their practices. This is okay, except for one thing. I had somebody recently who told me that they bought doTERRA on Amazon. But what I found out is that doTERRA does not sell.
Well, you're not allowed to sell on Amazon.
You're not supposed to sell on Amazon. And so what is going on, and I think I had shown this once before, is any one of the different companies that sells the bottles, you can buy these lids with the ring, and it's already still attached. And then you just get the bottle, and as you open it up, it has the ring already on there. You put it down on there and screw it on and lock it, and it looks like it's a brand new bottle. So that's the thing you got to be kind of careful with. And if you're researching thinking that you're at doTERRA, but what's happening is, like, especially on Amazon, because what I did is I looked, and it's saying that it's selling a doTERRA oil, but the company itself is not doTERRA. You'll see, like, it'll say, like, oil family this or oil something that or whatever. So that's the problem, is you have to make sure that it's coming from a verified source. The only reason, and I'm going to put this out there real quick, is that, like, if people order through me and then I send out to you, the only reason I'm doing that is because I'm trying to save you on some shipping. Because the shipping, if you were to order it by yourself, would be twice what I'm charging you. So it just works out better that way to make sure that, you know, I'm basically charging you exactly what it costs me to ship it out to you, and in some cases less than what it costs me to ship it out to you.
We're not charging the processing fee.
No, yeah, we're not, yeah. So because I'm putting, and anybody could tell you, I'm putting these in separate boxes. I'm putting bubble wrap in them to make sure they don't break. So now, Jennifer, to answer your question,
I'm going to start making little styrofoam holders for the oil for Mom.
Eucalyptus is like almost $19 before tax and shipping. So it's one of the cheaper oils. So that gives you that answer there.
Is Cockeyed still in here?
Yeah, right, exactly, Teresa. That's exactly right.
Do you have a catalog?
I don't. What I have is the website. You can go to the website, check it out. Anything you see on there that you like, just hit me up, ask me how much it is, what it's going to cost you, and it's really easy. I just email you for a list of what you have, what all you have, maybe. Part family, let me get back with you on that. Send me an email. I know you've sent me something before from there. Send me an email about that. I have to ask to find out about that because I know they're international, so I can definitely find out.
Cockeyed, I want to talk to you. While Mama's looking through this, I watched your one video today where I asked you if you had a table saw. I want us to meet up somewhere. I'm gonna give you one of my table saws. It doesn't have a stand or anything, but it's a table saw. But I want you to have it. You made me a little bit nervous today watching you cut that one piece of wood.
No, Tammy, remember, we don't have the resources that you have over there. Again, the reason it's that expensive is it's the pure oil. It's not watered down with anything. And that's the retail price. That's how doTERRA makes a little bit of their money. They're not, they're not hogs, they're pigs. They make a little bit, not a lot. They go more off of volume than they do off of, you know, like some other companies that I've seen. But that's the way that works. I'm sure over there it's, you know, probably really cheap because it's everywhere. But that would be like, yeah, it is a 15 milliliter bottle too. That's right. It's not a little bitty bottle. It's a pretty decent size. It's got about 250 drops in it.
So maybe we can meet up this weekend.
That would be nice. I'd like to be able to meet them.
I'm gonna give them that one table
The one that we
salt.
have?
Not the Ryobi one, but the other one.
Okay. Another one that I thought was really cool, anybody with respiratory issues, this is one of my go-tos in the wintertime. I keep this with me everywhere. It's a vapor stick. Just like how they made the old Vicks vapor sticks.
It's the vapors.
But it's got the respiratory blend in it, which has the eucalyptus. And it's great because you can put it on the chest or anything like that, just like a regular vapor stick. But it's also really good for just inhaling. So, I mean, you don't even have to actually use it. You just make sure you keep it nice and clean. I mean, covered so it doesn't dry out and it lasts for a long time. Works really well. So, but yeah, like Tammy here, when pecan season comes in, around the Georgia area, pecans are a lot cheaper here than they are in other parts of the country because they grow like crazy here. But at the same time, I can watch a lady where we used to live, close to where we used to live, she was selling pecans at like, what was it, $10 a pound or something like that? It was ridiculous how much.
We don't make the vapor sticks, Katie.
Kitty, you can get these through doTERRA, and they're cheap. They're like $10, somewhere around like that. Do I carry Thieves? No. doTERRA doesn't carry Thieves oil. They have something called On Guard instead.
That's funny, John.
What?
Then you'll get upset.
Let's see. Pecans are very expensive here. Yeah, like here they're cheap. doTERRA's version is On Guard. Yes. I get $1 a pound here. Wow. Yeah, they're not expensive at all.
Well, Brenda, send us a message. Maybe we can barter for something.
Yeah, we've got a ton of pecan trees on our property, and this is going to be a good year for pecans. Jason and Ladessa did a really good job last winter of thinning out the squirrel population here, so we've had a lot more pecans and a lot less squirrels this year. So almost to the point where they're
Well, Tammy, I wonder, could we ship pecans to Australia?
do you know? Probably not. I would imagine it's probably, there's some kind of law. We have black walnuts too, but not this year. It was not that great
You don't.
of a year. You don't? Have you been back there? Have you looked? Really, it's not that great. $20 per kilogram.
Oh, and that's
Okay.
pounds.
Huh?
Because she's an Aussie, so that's kind of pounds. So
20 pounds, right? You use a shaker each year and sell them just before Thanksgiving. Only at Christmas, yeah. See, and yeah, we don't have. I mean, we have enough walnuts that we'll be able to dye this year, and we'll be able to make a round of tincture. But that's about it. There's not a whole lot. The thing that we noticed this year is they're a lot smaller. You could tell that we were in a drought this year because the walnuts in the past have been as big as bigger than tennis balls. Like, they were huge. I mean, remember when you were in the deer stand and they were falling around you, they were huge. This year they're like the size of a golf ball, maybe a little bit bigger than a golf ball. So we're definitely seeing that has changed a little bit. So
well, we also had a lot of storms.
mhm.
Mess some stuff up. Get back there and do some.
You want me to make some more for you guys? We have plenty of tincture. we made quite a bit last year.
Yeah, when we had a huge.
We had a
crop.
bumper crop last year. Just like last year we had a bumper crop of muscadines. This year we have a decent crop, but it's not nearly what we had last year.
Susan, you have lobster. We'll trade.
No, we have. Ginger. The only problem with black walnut is it is ridiculous how hard they are to crack. Like,
You ain't lying.
I
I got them in a vice.
Yeah, the tincture. We've got plenty of tincture. We have a couple of. We have what, a gallon almost.
Well, you keep talking tincture, but if you're right like you were about the cow, you ain't getting a single bunch for tincture because I'm dyeing my traps.
Yeah, you definitely need to.
Yeah, what's up with that?
You definitely need to dye your traps first. So, yeah, you have to use a vise. That's exactly right. They are impossible. Like, my son tried hitting one with a hammer, and it didn't even budge. It's crazy.
I hear people just coating their driveway with them,
Mm-hmm.
and then just driving them over for about a month.
Yeah, and eventually they crack. Use gloves in your car or truck. Yeah, that's what we were just saying. I can get more for extra dye. You can soak them as well. Up north we have broccoli and potatoes, lobsters way down south on the coast. Yeah, but you gotta go past that area to come see us.
Yeah, because you coming to see us.
The old hand crank style corn chiller. Yeah. They make great projectiles. I imagine they would.
Okay, well, are you done?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I'm pretty much done. Yep, I'm good. And Sheila McCrae, if she's still in here, make sure you send me your information so I can get you your sample of eucalyptus. Get a squirrel. Just joining in. You guys are hilarious. Well, thank you, Katie. Oh, in unison.
Okay, so
No, don't go.
So, alright, now this is how we do it. We always open it up for questions.
Couple of questions.
So we're going to open it up for questions for Mama. It doesn't have to be about eucalyptus. It can be about any oil.
I got my trusty rusty notebook. Still here, Sheila. Cool.
So, Sheila, you make sure you send us that email.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Okay. What a refreshing conversation. Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Good night, Tanya. I'm glad you got your oil. I want to hear all about it. Make sure put that oil on your pillowcase tonight. Just put a couple of drops. You can even put it in a spray bottle and spray it on there. It should work really well. Hopefully. Blue vervain. No. Nope. Not at all. Oh, 4 pecan trees and not 1 pecan. Holy cow. Ginger, what part of the country are you? Orphan lady,
Repeat the question.
It says, how much do you put in a carrier oil for the feet of diabetics? I would put maybe a teaspoon of carrier oil, maybe a little bit more, maybe a tablespoon, and then like 2 or 3 drops. And usually what you would do with that is that would rub both feet. Okay, Teresa wants to know how to use black pepper oil to help quit smoking. Okay, so what you do with that is you put it either on a cotton ball or a paper towel, anything like that, old stinky sock, I don't know, anything. You put it on there, and then what you do is you inhale it as you would when you're smoking. So they say the average person, it takes them about 2 minutes to finish a cigarette. You would inhale that as if you were inhaling your cigarette for the 2 minutes, and then you use it sporadically throughout the day whenever you have cravings. There's also other oils that work as well. I can get that information for you. I don't know it right off the top of my head. I'm not a smoker, But I have heard a lot of people say that it does help with cravings and it does help with the urges and stuff. So
Simply, have you started it yet?
yeah, we sent some to Simply to see how it would work. So
Sugar Mama says she's got a question for you, but she's kind of embarrassed to ask it in here, so she's going to email you.
Yes, send me an email. It's good.
Okay, I'm going to, before you take off, Old Ways, if y'all haven't noticed, Mama has started a series, her own little series, about urban homesteading. I think she's calling it homesteading in the
High-rise.
high-rise homesteading.
Yeah.
Look, y'all need to check that out and watch it. Remember, we started talking when I got up there and got all dressed up like the Secretary of Defense and acted a fool and did that speech. I meant everything I said in that speech. And unfortunately, because my head exploded, it's put us about a week behind. We're going to start filming our preparedness and our sustainability series stuff. And she's going right along the line with it. And you guys need to start watching her. If you're not subscribed to her, get over there and do
check
it
them out, yeah.
and watch it. This is the stuff.
It's going to be a good thing to help with. And she said in her video, you know, she's noticed so many people talk about how they can't do anything because they live in an apartment. And this is going to be helping to address that.
And she might not even use, she might use poop, she might not.
Ginger, I did see your response. She lives in Mississippi, central Mississippi near Starkville. Okay.
Later, Uncle KK.
Go water the mule. There was another question up here. Oh, it wasn't a question. It was simply being silly.
Oh, okay.
Because I always call him a booty hole whenever he makes me mad. But I use the real world word that I can't say on the show. And so he thought it would be funny when he got his black pepper oil today. He asked me if he was supposed to take it rectally. And I told him, sure. Go ahead. Tell me how that works for you. Teresa, you know what? I don't know if you ever saw our video. Good night, Farmer Meemaw.
Good night, Meemaw. Love you, Meemaw.
Teresa, we had a video. We were talking about one. I can't remember which one it was. It was a live stream. And we were talking about our cow when we first got our cow. And that's when I realized that raw milk is awesome for skin. And I found that out when the cow kicked the bucket and covered me in a bucket's full of milk. But it is. Raw milk is really good for your skin. And oatmeal is too. My daughter last night came in and for some reason she had this huge rash all along her torso. And we put her in a cool bath, like a lukewarm bath, and put some oatmeal in there. And she was,
Did she use the oatmeal soap?
No, we just put her in oatmeal because I didn't want to give.
From that channel that shall not be named.
Yeah, I didn't want to
they
irritate it. Lemon and black. Well, yeah, I would imagine lemon and black pepper because isn't lemon and black pepper? Every attempt is one step closer to quitting. Well, yeah, I mean, you know, and that's the thing is they say that this black pepper is not like a cure-all. It's not supposed to be like you just inhale the black pepper and it's going to make you quit smoking.
Palmetto, you don't smoke, you dip.
It's still a... But anyway.
Or does he smoke too?
I don't know. I don't pay attention to all that. That's not...
How can he smoke with that beard? He'd catch it on fire.
I'm just glad to see him participating again. All right, any last questions? It's 10:30. It's almost Mama's bedtime.
Okay, last questions. Here we go. Bam. There's the marker.
You know, winter lemon and black pepper, we have both of those oils, and we do use those to cook with a lot. And black pepper is actually, it's very potent. So you can take just a toothpick and put it, just barely touch the toothpick to the oil, and that's all you need for the cooking. Some of these oils are so potent you don't even want to drop a full drop in there.
Okay.
Looks like we're just about out of questions.
Yep. Okay, here comes my solicitation. Alright, thank you guys for coming in tonight. Don't forget to check us out on the web at www.bigbearhomestead.com. While you're here on YouTube, if you're new, please subscribe. And if you can, go check out the P up there for Patreon. Hit that. And if you guys can help, great. If not, it's cool too. Don't forget, we are also live on Saturday night, part of the Homestead Network. So I need you guys to go to thehomesteadnetwork.com, thehomesteadnetwork.com. And in the upper right hand corner, there's a spot where Brad is asking for your emails. Now, he's not going to spam you. He's not even going to send you just any old random email that says, hey, come check out my video. No, that is strictly for the Homestead Network in case there are show changes and for complications due to weather. Somebody got, like if I got hit by a truck or something like that. And so he would be saying, hey, Big Bear Homestead, Jason got hit by a truck, so go check out Go for Green Living or Palmetto Paratrooper or Big Family Homestead or whatever. So, and once again, tonight's episode was sponsored by tea. Cheers.
All right, y'all.
Thanks for coming by. Don't forget, Insomnia Club tomorrow at 9. Mama has put a 2-hour limit on my time, so we'll go from about 9 to 11 until I'm back being healthy again. So, thanks. Love y'all. Don't forget, if you got any questions for Mom about the oils, it's Big Bear Farms Oils at hotmail.com. What did somebody say?
Teresa said, thank you, Robyn, and that other guy. John, we were glad to have you come back next week. And actually, we'll be on Saturday night, so you can come check us out on that too.
Of course, Teresa won't be there because she'll be in timeout mostly, but that's okay.
Different Teresa.
Oh.
Not Teresa Dean. She's like, hey, that wasn't me. Teresa Flory, did you get your package today? I was curious. I didn't hear anything.
And speaking of packages, USA Kiwi.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, my lady. We thoroughly enjoyed it. Can't wait for the weather to get cold so we can wear them.
Yep.
And Sugar Mama, I am going to do a video with that trap that you sent. I'm going to use that trap to talk about pan tension. And I'm already wearing my socks. So,
Yep.
I mean,
Teresa,
if you want to knit me about I don't know, 10, 15 pair for Christmas, that's cool.
Teresa, it'll probably be there tomorrow. And you guys are welcome. This is how I learn. We went to a bunch of classes where they talked about specific oils, and that's how I started learning all of my stuff. So I figure if it was how I learned, if I have this platform to be able to, if I have the platform to be able to share it with all of you, I mean, we had 100 people in here at one point.
102.
Yeah, I mean, if I can
We were
share
down
it to
a little
100 people, when we were in the classes, there was maybe 5 or 10 of us at a time. So if I can share this with, that many people, that's awesome. So, you guys have a good evening.
Remember, support everybody in the Homestead Network.
Yep. Check them all out.
Check them all out. If you don't like them, you can unsub. But most of us do grow food and poop. Okay, too soon?
Yeah, too soon. Yeah.
Okay. But thanks again. We love you guys. And Insomnia Club, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.